In this video, I would like to present to you about the salient features and classification of class Reptilia. Reptiles are creeping vertebrates. The study of reptiles is called herpetology, while the study of snakes is called ophiology, and the study of lizards is called saurology. Reptiles evolved from labradodont amphibia during the Paleozoic era. Reptiles were dominant animals during the Mesozoic era. Hence, Jurassic period of the Mesozoic era is aptly known as the Golden Age of reptiles. The common reptiles are turtles such as Chelone, Trionyx, tortoise, testudo, then Totara lizard, the sphenodon, which is an example for a living fossil, Hemidactylus, which is house lizard, Chameleon, the tree lizard, Calotis, the garden lizard, Draco, the flying lizard, Phrynosoma, the horned toad, the Varanus, which is referred to as a monitor lizard, then Naja Naja, which is the cobra, crocodiles, alligators, gavialis, etc. The living reptiles include turtles, tortoises, lizards, snakes, crocodiles, alligators, etc. There are about 10,000 species of reptiles found existing today. About the salient features. Reptiles are cold-blooded or poikilotherms. The body is divided into head, trunk and tail, and there is a distinct neck between the head and the trunk. They have two pairs of pentadactyl limbs with clawed digits. The skin is dry and non-glandular, having an exoskeletal covering of epidermal scales, which are modified in some to form shields, plates or scutes, which contains keratin. Bony plates, osteoderm, develop beneath the scales in some forms, example lizards and crocodiles. The heart is imperfectly four-chambered with two auricles and an incompletely divided ventricle, but in crocodile, the ventricle is completely divided as in birds and mammals to form four-chambered heart. Lungs are the respiratory organs. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Copulatory organs are present in males, hence fertilization is internal. Eggs are laid on land. The egg is protected by a shell and contains large amount of yolk. There are three embryonic membranes, amnion, allantois and yolk sac during development. Class Reptilia is divided into four subclasses based on the number and position of temporal fossae of the skull. Reptilian skull is monocondylic. Number of temporal fossae is 1 or 2 pairs. In some forms, for example, tortoise and turtles, temporal fossae is absent. Lower jaw is formed of 6 bones. Teeth are homodont, acrodont, pleurodont or polyphyodont. Tortoise and turtles belong to subclass Anapsida, which are the primitive reptiles in which temporal fossae are absent. Subclass Synapsida and Parapsida are extinct reptiles. Synapsid skull is characterized by a single temporal fossae, that is the infratemporal fossa. Subclass Diapsida possess both supratemporal and infratemporal fossae. Coming on to the first subclass Anapsida. Subclass Anapsida includes primitive reptiles without any temporal fossae. That is, the skull roof is solid. Subclass Anapsida includes one extinct order, Cotylosauria, and an extant order, Chelonia. Turtles and tortoises are very ancient reptiles. They have remained relatively the same for 160 million of years without undergoing considerable evolutionary changes. Turtles and tortoises are reptiles in bony boxes. The shell or the box consists of a dome-shaped roof called carapace and a flat plastron. The shell opens both in front and behind, and the body is divided into head, neck, trunk, and tail. All parts of the body can be withdrawn within the shell during defense. Limbs are strong and clawed. Limbs are normal or paddle-like. The jaws lack teeth and are covered by horny sheath. Order Chelonia includes turtles and tortoises. So what is the difference between turtle and tortoise? The marine forms are commonly called turtles, while the freshwater ones are terrapins, and the terrestrial forms are called tortoises. Example for a marine turtle is Chelone midas, which is referred to as a green turtle. An example for a freshwater terrapin is Trionyx, while Testudo is the terrestrial tortoise. In the case of turtles, the forelimbs are clawless and modified into paddles. Carapace is heart-shaped. Head can be withdrawn only partially inside the shell. While in the case of tortoise, the forelimbs with claw digits. The carapace is oval shaped and head can be completely withdrawn into the shell. Subclass Parapsida has no living representatives and possessed only a single temporal fossa on each side of the skull. Ichthyosauria, coming under subclass Parapsida, were fish-like reptiles. They had elongated snout, which was toothed. Limbs were modified as paddles, and they showed hyperdactyly and hyperphalangy. Subclass Synapsida is characterized by a single temporal fossa. The infratemporal fossa, which is bounded above by the postorbital and squamosal, below by the quadratojugal and jugal. Order Therapsida, coming under subclass Synapsida, is with no living members. The therapsids were the true mammal-like reptiles. Diapsid skull possess both supratemporal and infratemporal fossae. These two are separated by postorbital and squamosal bones. Subclass Diapsida consists of three orders: Rhynchocephalia, order Squamata, and order Crocodilia. First about order Rhynchocephalia. Body is elongate and lizard-like. The skull is diapsid. Skin is covered by granular scales and a mid-dorsal row of spines. Limbs are pentadactyl, clawed, and burrowing. Order Squamata consists of lizards and snakes. What is the difference between a lizard and a snake? In the case of lizard, body is slightly compressed. It is having two pairs of limbs. Exoskeleton is not removed by molting. Nictitating membrane is present. Tongue is not bifid. Urinary bladder is present. While in the case of snakes, body is cylindrical, limbs are absent, exoskeleton is removed by molting, nictitating membrane is absent, tongue is bifid, urinary bladder is absent. Order Crocodilia includes crocodiles and alligators, which are the largest living reptiles, which are carnivorous and predatory aquatic organisms. They have four-chambered heart, muscular diaphragm, thecodon dentition. Females come to land and lay their eggs in nests constructed from decaying vegetations or in pits. The main difference between crocodile and alligators are that crocodiles have a short, slender snout, whereas alligators have a blunt, broad snout. Alligators are less aggressive than crocodiles. So, in a nutshell, Mesozoic era is referred to as the golden age of reptiles. Class Reptilia consists of four subclasses. Subclass Anapsida includes primitive reptiles, those tortoise and turtles. Subclass Parapsida and subclass Synapsida are extinct reptiles. Diapsida consist of order Rhynchocephalia, order Squamata, and order Crocodilia. Sphenodon is an example for a living fossil. Lizards and snakes come under order Squamata. Thank you.